Okay, a little close-up of the frame before I get stuck into it. There might be a little bit of tape residue where they had it very well packed, by the way. So I'm going to wear a mask, and I've got a water bottle to dampen down any dust. Try and get the two brake cables through the handlebar. know and you know that's not how smoothly that build went. That's what's called the power of the edit. But some of my favourite YouTube channels are the ones that show everything, warts and all the problems, all the mistakes, all the obstacles that had to be overcome in order to get to the end goal. And so in a future video, I'll go into a bit more detail about how the full build actually went, including the mistakes I made and some of the problems I ran into. The bike is almost complete, but not quite there. The wheels I have on it at the moment are donor wheels from my other bike. The wheels still haven't arrived from Tantan. So again, I'll cover that in a future video. I expect them to be here by the end of this week. Today's Monday. I hope to have them by Friday. And then I can get the build finished completely and then have some pictures and video of the final finished product. And I have a lot of editing to do to kind of go through what the entire build process was like. It wasn't crazy difficult, but it wasn't as plain sailing as was just demonstrated in the last number of minutes in that video. There was definitely some mistakes made, some lessons learned, and some things I would do differently if I was doing it again. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the end result so far. Haven't had a chance to actually take it for a ride yet. I want to wait until the wheels arrive, finish it off properly, and then take it out for a shakedown spin. But so far, everything seems pretty good and pretty solid, and I'm very happy with how things are at this moment in time. But there was a little bit of work in getting to this point. So hopefully in a future video, we'll cover some of that ground.